Hey, what's up, guys? It's Kyle Jones. Hey, we've wrapped up our Springer season this year, so now the last few days have been thrown into the craziness of trying to get prepared for Upper Columbia, Summer Chinook, and Sockeye. So I cured whatever shrimp I had, but now I'm down here in Lewiston, ran down here to North 40. Usually these guys have a pile of bait. I'm going to need to pick up some herring for the summer and some shrimp, and then I'm going to bring you guys along on the process that I use to do my shrimp. So this will be a pretty cool video. So any of you guys that have been wondering the process, it's evolved. We've had a couple of videos on it, but it's evolved a little bit, and I think I've got an even better product than I have in the past. So anyway, guys, stay along with this. Make sure you guys subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you in a little bit. Whew, that was spendy. Obviously having to pay retail for it. You know, it's the way it is. I try to be out in front of everything. I try to be a couple months ahead, but was not this time. So that was a pretty good chunk of change. But got the shrimp, so it's absolutely critical to have it. So North 40 and Lewiston, they're the hookup. They usually have the raw shrimp, the raw just frozen. If you guys locally are looking to be able to find shrimp to cure, and didn't quite have the exact color of shrimp cure that I wanted, but also, as I'll show you guys, I'll kind of be able to make up the difference on that. But yeah, we're gonna get this home. I brought a big cooler with me. Oh, and the other thing, I didn't buy any herring because I like the smaller one, the red labels, and I don't know. I'm really picky about, like, if I had to fish tomorrow and I had to have herring, I would go ahead and buy it. But a lot of the stuff, some of the scales are falling off. The green labels looked just absolutely primo, but the reds were not quite as good. And so when it comes down to it, I don't necessarily need it, so I'm not going to buy it. With that said, get these shrimp home and get them cured up. And yeah, so stay tuned. All right, so I'm back in the shop. Really with my supplies, I just got a couple of buckets, and with what I have and space I have, this is going to be kind of a multiple day process. I did 5 jars of shrimp yesterday. I'll probably do about the same as that today, and I'll do more tomorrow and then more the next day. I just don't have a big enough area to just do all of this at once, or really enough supplies for that matter. But so what I was able to get is to cure my shrimp. This stuff is awesome. So it's the Pro Cure Shrimp and Prawn Cure. The only issue is this is the Fireball Red. I would have rather had, I got an empty jar of it here, the pink magenta. But, when I say but, I'm going to mix a little bit up. I made a bunch yesterday, and I added some Nate's Bait iridescent red. So, and then topped it all off. I use a wet brine, which is actually my herring brine minus a couple of things, but it's the sugars and salts and a bottle of water. And so I'll show you guys how to mix all that up. But then I added the Badass bait dye from Procure. So these shrimp are going to be so red, they're going to absolutely stain everything, but they should be a pretty awesome color. So I'm going to do this batch that way with the red, and yeah, we'll see how it goes and see what they come out. They'll come out really good. I mean, the red's great. I wish it was the pink, but at this stage, I got to have these ready in a couple of weeks. I don't have time to order everything I need and do it. So I'm just going to roll with what I have and make things work, and it should be just fine. Anyway, let me flip this. Right, so we don't need that. You can tell it's a fishing guide shop. I spend most of my time either coaching baseball or fishing, so the cleanup part doesn't get done. So bags of shrimp. Luckily, the North 40 in Lewiston has great shrimp. I think it actually comes from Columbia Basin Bait. But like I said, I didn't have time to make a big order. I didn't have time to drive anywhere. So we're rolling with that. I've got quite a lot. This is only about a third of what I grabbed. So I'm not entirely sure how many jars it's going to take me to get through July, but I really don't want to be in the scenario where I have to buy bait. So I'm going to make sure I get a bunch of it going. So what I'm going to do is I'll put a whole bag of this, or actually probably 2 bags, into that bucket. And then I'm going to stir in the Procure shrimp and prawn cure. And yeah, it's a pretty good deal. So one thing I forgot to mention, one of these bags like this will do pretty much a quart jar, right about a quart jar of shrimp. So give or take, that's what we're looking at. So we got them dumped in the bucket. I'm gonna mix some cure in on those right now. Let me pop this open here. So this stuff's pretty simple, because really it's like idiot-proof shrimp, to be honest. Make sure that focuses. It really is. All it is you're just adding cure to shrimp and stirring it around. So we'll take that bucket and we'll see. We just want to rotate it. You just want to be really gentle with them and make sure that you're not breaking them apart. So I'm going to roll them around in there. I'll probably add 1 more bag of shrimp into this one. Excuse me, cure dust in my face. But I'll add 1 more thing of shrimp to this bucket, and then we'll just let these sit for a few hours. All right, so stepping outside a little bit, there you can kind of get an idea. Those are all mixed up. That's 2 bags of that shrimp from North 40. So I'm going to let those marinate for a little bit. They'll start to juice up as they unthaw, and that cure will really start to penetrate it. Curing shrimp. Let the good stuff. Mix in a little bit of stuff. Mixing colors. We got Procure prawn and shrimp cure. A little bit of Nate's bait. Mixing it up in here, and this is what it's looking like. We'll let that juice up for a few hours. So after a few hours in the cure and then overnight in the fridge, once I get the brine added to them, that's pretty much what the finished color of the shrimp is going to look like. They'll be a pretty dark red. Going to be awesome for sockeye and steelhead. But all right, so while I'm waiting for those dry brine ones to kind of do their thing, I'm going to get a little bit different batch going. These will be the same as I did last year. We do a lot of shrimp, and so the process kind of morphs and changes. But the way, I've got a great way of doing them here. I'm going to do these ones just like I did last year. And so what that's going to be is that's going to be half a cup of the Nate's Bait egg cure and then half a cup of salt into every one of these jars. And then I'm going to fill them full of shrimp. And then I'm going to top them off with my herring brine. So I'll go through that here in just a little bit. All right, so as you can see, I've got the Nate's Bait egg cure. So that's half a cup of that, half a cup of Morton's canning and pickling salt. I use this because you can see in the ingredients, it's nothing but salt. No non-caking agent, no, nothing like that. So just salt. So, and then you fill the rest of the jar with shrimp, and then I've just dumped in the remainder of my brine. And Henry is going to go ahead and make us another batch of brine here. So you guys might want to write this down. Our herring brine consists of 1 cup of a mixture we call 3-2-1, and that's what Henry's making here is 3-2-1. So it's 1 part salt, 2 parts sugar, and 3 parts borax, and then the other half. So it's, and then our herring brine is half a cup of that, and then half a cup of the non-iodized regular salt, and then 1 bottle of water. But we'll show you guys. So Henry just did the 1 cup of salt. Now he's going to do 2 parts sugar. And we actually really like that that baking sugar like that. It's real fine. It gets into the bait really well. So he's doing 2 parts of that. And then he'll do 3 parts of the Mule Team Borax. Dude. All right, so 3 parts of that. Hold on, Henry. Okay, so now Henry's going to put together the salt brine into this jar right here. So you're going to need one more ingredient that we don't have out here right now, Henry. So krill. So you can see we had stuff everywhere in the shop. That fell down the other day. That's neat. I haven't got to that yet. Go ahead, Henry. Get it. All right, so Henry's going to put together our salt brine mixture. Whoa, what are you doing? What? Oh. That's not how you do that. So one of the mixtures that we do put into this is the pure krill powder. And so he's going to do, our measurements are not really exact, so it's like half a cap of a wide lid jar of krill powder into the jar. And then he's going to put a half cup of the 3-2-1 mixture. I wouldn't do that, man. Just get it full. There you go. That'll work. So that's half cup of the 3-2-1. Okay. And then he's going to do another half cup of salt. That'll work. So half cup of salt. And now it's going to take one. No. Okay, so yeah, I'll do that, buddy. Grab a bottle of water. And so he's going to add a full bottle of water to that. You want to use bottled water or well water. You don't want to use anything that has chlorine in it. All right, so because we're trying to get a real dark red pink color, and you're right here, we're going to use, this is the Badass Bait Dye by Procure, and this stuff will have me sniffing pink boogers for the next couple of weeks. But we're going to use about a teaspoon, that's way too much, about a teaspoon of that into the water. And then that brine, that'll give us the brine. So that's why we put everything in a jar. Now, if we were doing herring on this, we wouldn't probably do this color. We've done it before, but so we'll get that I got here in my, okay. And so then what we're gonna do here is all we're gonna do is we've got the salt and the cure in the bottom, and we're just gonna fill the jar to the brim with the liquid. Okay, so those shrimp now, not only are all the salts and everything in there already, there's extra krill in there, and now they're going to be brining in that. We're going to let those sit in there for just a little bit before we put the lids on it. But Henry, right here. So we're gonna you're okay. Stop. Now that we got the lid on the jar, we're gonna slowly turn this, because all that cure, you can see it's all stuck right there in the bottom. That's that cure and the salt we put in there earlier. Moses is obviously going a little crazy here. But we're going to just slowly roll and turn these until we can get all that cure going in there. And then these will sit in the fridge, and we'll rotate these from top to bottom twice a day for the next couple of weeks. And by the time, right now, today's the 20th. Sockeye season opens on the 1st. These will be ready to go along with the other stuff. and we'll show you guys how we finish these other batches up here in a bit. Okay, go ahead, stop it. All right, it's been a few hours. It's dark, obviously more than a few. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill quart jars, or really any jar, to the brim, get as much of those shrimp. Remember, these shrimp have been sitting in the dry brine that we did earlier. And so they're gonna sit in the dry brine, and then I'm gonna take this, and this is my herring brine plus the dye, and I'm gonna use this to be the liquid and the extra color saver that we're gonna put into there. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill these jars, and then show you guys the finished product. All right, so there is the finished product. You can tell that there's juice, there's all around those. So those things, as they sit in the fridge, that cure is going to just penetrate those shrimp, and they're just going to be awesome. But so I could probably throw these in the cooler and fish them tomorrow. But after a couple weeks soaked, they're going to be absolutely fantastic. Anyway, guys, I had a t-ball game to coach in between this. But hey, thanks for watching this. Like I said, my shrimp process seems to be constantly evolving, getting better, changing, using different stuff. I have done everything from simply just putting egg cure on my shrimp to fishing just egg cure and like the store-bought prawns that you can buy frozen and just with the shell off and doing those. And honestly, they've all worked. But I feel like right now, these are probably some of the best shrimp I've ever had. I used to get really frustrated about shrimp and not feel like I could do them myself, and I would just buy them. But I've got it now where if you do this and give yourself some time, and you'll come out with a fantastic product. And if not, if you don't have time to go through this, or you don't want to go through all these steps, just go get yourself a jar of Columbia Basin bait, Northwest Best bait, Millennial Coon shrimp. There's a ton of different companies that are making bait, and you can just buy those. But I like having something that I feel like is mine, and it's a little bit different. And yeah, I can constantly tweak it and do all that stuff with it. So hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're enjoying our content, please make sure you guys subscribe. It means a ton to us. And hit that notification bell so that you can continue to get updates from us. And then also make sure that you guys follow us on Facebook and on Instagram if you want to see kind of our everyday pictures and stuff like that. We're super active over there. And then also for a lot of short-term content, you'll see it here on YouTube Shorts. But you'll also see us on TikTok. So anyway, guys, God bless you. I'm excited for this upcoming fishery. You know, it's a favorite time of mine. Wonderful weather, lots of fish. It's going to be a really good time. Anyway, guys, God bless, and we'll catch you next time.